good evening to the head table and to everyone in attendance. You know, it's really good to see so many of us here today to kind of speak on both festivals, right? So I just want to touch on a couple things. I know at the end of October last year, my name is Dexter Sandy, Tobago October Carnival Association, as well as Iconic Mass. All right? So at the end of October last year, I think it was in November or December, I decided to check my emails. We would have sent in a report to Festival Commission, just kind of giving a post-mortem on what we think went well and what were some of the areas that we need to improve. And I don't think everybody in the room had the benefit of that information, so I'll just touch on a couple of points. What went well, we realized that year 3, the execution of year 3 was much better than year 2 and year 1. It says that we learned over the years and we really improved, right? We saw where, as the band association, we met and we worked out things like the clusters, what it means to share resources and things like that, and it worked. And we're really hoping that this year we even make it a little more efficient, right? Some of the challenges, we know that one, Juve didn't start on time, right? We know it wasn't any fault of the bands, it wasn't any fault of Festival Commission, but we do hope this year the other parties get it correct, all right? In terms of the night mass, we know that we had a major disappointment in terms of it being shut down inappropriately on the Saturday night, and we do hope that this time around we get it right and we will not have something like that reflected again. All right, but those are just some of the challenges that we had last year. Coming into this year, I heard this statement made earlier, and respectfully, I just want to disagree with it. The one that says October Carnival should be like a borough celebration, right? I understand what the lady is trying to say, but I want us to think bigger than a borough celebration when it comes to October, because the role that October Carnival plays is much different from National Carnival. October Carnival brings thousands of visitors to the island to bring revenue to the island. Before we even talk about playing mass and who get grants and that kind of thing, the purpose of October Carnival is to bring visitors to the island so that the island's economy makes money, right? We all benefit from it. And that is way beyond what a borough celebration is. So I don't want us to really put our minds, wrap your minds around that. One of the areas that we have noted is lacking from October, and I guess that's why I should make a statement like that, is that some of the cultural expressions are missing from October, right? I know when October was born, it was all about putting mass in the road, looking good, so we could bring visitors to the island. But I think we have kind of achieved a high percentage of that so far. So now it's to kind of fine-tune it and make sure that the cultural expressions, the calypso, the traditional, the old mass, all those elements, the pan, right? I mean, pan kind of already integrated in it, but I really want us to make sure we don't lose the essence of what a carnival is, right? Jamaica just finished in April, and a TikToker went on that Jamaica Carnival going to take over, is the best thing since sliced bread. But somebody commented and looked at the thread, and it said that a carnival is not just a series of parties and then you go on the road and jump and play mass, right? October might have started off like that, but it cannot continue along that pattern if it is we really want it to be sustainable, right? So I want us to make sure that in the planning going forward, if it's this year, next year, that we ensure that the cultural expression is embedded in October to ensure the symbolism of Carnival is maintained, right? I heard Dr. Thomas referring to this consultation is going to be beyond this room, is going to go around the island, because Carnival is not just about the persons who participate in it, but the persons who are also impacted by it. I want us, whilst we're doing that exercise, to be very careful, right, that the persons who are impacted by it, whether it's positively or negatively, you don't throw off this core and what it is we want to achieve. I've seen many times, not only in Tobago, but outside of Tobago, where the opinions of others kind of shape things, and it's not in the best interest of the practitioners. The practitioners came out here today because we want to make sure that we do the best that we can do for Carnival, right? And I don't want that the others who are not here, they have the major voice, and we had a kind of shape and shift to suit them. So I'm just saying, be careful with those opinions, right? The launch of Carnival. I heard Yankee spoke about the launch for National Carnival. My interpretation of her words was like it was non-existent. Last year, I would throw your minds back, last year, March, we had a meeting just like this, triggering October Carnival preparations, right? And we went into, I think it was the month of May, where a launch of some semblance down at Crown Point was June. Right? I'm gonna make sure I set the record straight.
Pavement lime.
It was hard, and you did not get the buy-in from the bands, from the promoters, from Pan, no Calypso. Let them state the record. There was one band, I think, that showed their face to give some support, and I think the approach was wrong last year, and we need to learn from the mistakes, right? We cannot go about repeating it. We're already in May, right? But we cannot go about repeating those mistakes, because you will continue to get the same result, which is the resistance from these practitioners. So let us try our best to not have that mistake repeated, right? The staging for the stage area for Carnival on the Sunday, right? I mean, I can't touch on everything here tonight. I mean, others will come up, but I want to speak about that staging area. I would really like for us this year to move from a staging area to a stage. Right? Last year, we tried, I understand the approaches we made, we tried to get sponsorship, we tried to do many different things. We talked to contractors, we tried to get the price down. We as mass bands went and engaged contractor, bring a quote, everything. And when it came closer to the time, it was not possible, right? I am saying that our budget hasn't been formulated as yet. Let us make that a priority if it is we want to really raise the level and the standard of the Carnival, which is what we want to do year on year, right? We need to get a stage, right? A stage at the Market Square location. I would say Market Square location because we test it and we prove it. We test stage by the scene year 1 and year 2, and last year we showed why Market Square was better for the amount of people now participating in the Carnival. So let us get that stage in the area transferred into an actual stage at the staging. If you understand, it's a physical stage, right? Because again, there are other persons who are looking at Tobago, they're measuring the experience that they get here, they're measuring the product that we're offering against other islands. Why should I come to Tobago Carnival versus going to Jamaica or Miami in the same month, right? For the majority of people who involve in Carnival in Trinidad who like to run on a Carnival, we closer, we cheaper. Let us make it more attractive so that they could come here, so that all of us in here will benefit, All right, so those are just some of the points I wanted to touch on for this evening's proceedings.
Thank you, Dexter.